There is no doubt that Nigeria has gained a lot of popularity all over the world. There is simply no part of this world you go to where you do not hear or identify Nigerian music. Because music has actually put us on the front burner of discussions the world over. Now, we're not just talking music, we're talking about music of yesteryears and music which has transcended into these days. Well, it's going to be a musical journey as I welcome you to Executive Discourse, coming to you on the network service of the NTA. My name is Ololade Adinijadeli. I'm sure you're wondering what exactly, the musical journey is going to be all about today. Well, I'm proud to tell you that one of Nigeria's foremost musicians, a man who has put Nigeria on the front burner the world over, is my guest. And I have the honor and pleasure of, spending this time and introducing to you my guest, evangelist Ebenezer Fabiyi. Well, we call him Ebenezer Obi. Hello, sir. How are you?
You are welcome. I'm fine.
It's good to actually see you and finally get to sit down with you.
And I'm so happy to see you also.
Thank you very much, sir.
Everybody.
It looks like your ways have actually been orchestrated even before you were born. I mean, the way you gravitated towards music.
Actually.
At what point did you decide to go commercial in music?
Well, my mother loved God, and she started taking me to the church at early age. I was told that I would crawl to the instrument of the choir and be playing with my mother will carry me, I will crawl. And my mother remembered the day that the pastor took me from my mother's hand as my mother was carrying me and I was crawling back. And the man prophesied that this boy will be a musician. And it became
a reality.
So I grew up, I became a member of the choir. I became a member of the school band.
Okay.
And later on, I became the school band leader. I was very good in drama. In those days, they call it entertainment. It was from that moment that I became a star. When I set my feet into the school compound, everybody would shout, obey, obey, obey. Everybody. Obey was not in my family name. That was the name that was given to me in the school.
Okay.
And it became more popular even than my surname.
Your surname.
Ebenezer Obey. So they love me. And what brought the name Obey?
Exactly what I was going to ask you,
Yes.
how that name Obey came about.
In those days, the teachers were allowed to discipline the pupils. So they used to cane us in the hand or give me your bottle.
Okay.
But no pupil want to take that punishment.
Yes, yes.
They want to say something. Sorry, sir. Sir. No excuse. I don't want to hear any. So obey first. Obey first and then complain. He knew that by the time he give you the lashes,
Yes.
you will not have time to express
yourself again.
So then I happen to be the prefect of my class.
Okay.
To be a prefect, you have some privileges. While the teacher want to, at times he may have 12 pupils to discipline. So the monitor or class prefect will come out. I may say, obey.
Okay.
If this one says, sorry, I say, obey.
Obey.
Obey first and then complain. Obey before complain. Obey. That's
and that was how the name stuck to you.
When I came to the school in the morning, obey. Those who have been in the band, in the school band before me,
okay,
those are the elders. When they get out of school,
yes,
and I became school band leader. One, they established Boys and Girls Youth Club.
Okay.
From the Boys and Girls Youth Club, have music, have drama. It's a club. And I belong to the music sector. I remember late Mr. Jimo Akiwande and my uncle, Mr. Disu Adeleke. They were the one who formed the band. I left Idago for Lagos to complete my elementary school in Odoye Elementary School, Mushin.
Okay.
So I was on holiday going back to Idago. I just got out of the train. Then Mr. Akiwande called me, Shupo, we have been waiting for you. They told me you are going to arrive today.
Okay.
Follow me. I said, my mother was a disciplinarian. All my mother wanted me to do is to face my studies. She didn't like the fact that I became so popular through drumming and music.
Yes, in school.
She will call me in the midnight, night and speak to me. I don't want you to play music. Alagbe ló máa ń lùlù. Èmi ọmọ torí ọlá. Ìlú wọn fi ń jí bàbá mi. Ní ọjọ́ Jímọ̀, every Friday, his father, the drummer, will come to his house. So she said, I want you to be a lawyer.
Okay.
Or a medical doctor. That's what I want my son to be. Lawyer.
Oh, yeah, doctor.
Yeah, doctor. As you ask me, will you go tomorrow?
To go and play the drums.
She asked me. I'm going to go pleasure car.
Okay.
In those days.
Which one was pleasure car?
They called car pleasure car.
Okay.
So, mo fẹ́ go pleasure car ni. Mo fẹ́ go pleasure car. Tó bá go pleasure car. Fìlú ilé o. Ìwé rẹ̀ ni ó gbajúmọ̀ o. Ìwé rẹ̀ ni ó gbajúmọ̀ o. Ọkọ mi kíní kankan. Ó fẹ́ lọ lóyìnbó. Tó lọ lóyìnbó. Tó bá lọ lóyìnbó. Lawyer. Àbí doctor tí ó gbọ́dọ̀ lóyìnbó nìyẹn.
For you to go overseas, you have to be a doctor or a lawyer.
Okay. And the next day, they have started playing drums. They are
Yes.
expecting me.
Yes.
And she called me. Olashikwaremu, will you go? So long. No. But
The urge.
I will watch her. Just run
And sneak out to go and play the drums. So when your uncle now accosted you and asked him to follow you, did you to follow him? Did you follow your uncle?
Yeah,
When you came out of the train?
I followed.
You didn't get home to go and tell your mom you were around?
No, he knew. And I knew that if I got home, my mother would not let me go. So I met them. They bought drums. And I dreamt before I left Lagos that there were drums and they called me and I was beating it. They were all there. They don't know how to handle all. I started handling them, playing them. So they carried me, they shouted, they were so happy.
Wow.
That's why I became, I play all that instrument and I get to go.
Okay.
So the name of the band was Ifelodun Mambo Orchestra.
Ifelodun Mambo
And we were doing very well.
But you were still in school?
Yes.
But at that time you must have broken your mother's heart.
Oh, yes, I did. And she was so happy. She was troubling me. She will beat me. She will do. So one day, I called my mother.
Okay.
This music that you didn't want me to do is what I want to do. I want to do music. She said, you want to do music? One more, music low shade. Yeah, music. And then I asked her, why is it that you don't want me to be a musician? She said, thank you. Thank you, my husband. Musician, the smoke hell.
Okay.
The smoke cigarette. She told me, I said, my mom, I promise you, I will go into music and I will not do all those things that you mentioned to me. And I promise you, I will be a good example. She said, tó nígbà wí fún ọ tó lóògbọ́ yìí Ọlọ́run ràn ẹ́ lọ́wọ́. Then she prayed for me. Then I now formed my own band. I became a professional musician at the age of 15 in 1957.
Oh, at the age of 15?
15.
That was when you established your own band?
Yes.
What was the name of the band?
Royal Mambo Orchestra.
Royal Mambo Orchestra. Now, you made that promise to your mother.
Yes.
And she grudgingly gave you her blessing.
Yes.
To go into music.
Yes.
At what point did you decide that it was juju music you wanted to do?
When I got to Lagos, of course I went to modern school.
Okay.
Edodi Secondary Modern School.
Okay.
Abeokuta. I came back to Lagos to look for work. I was employed as a pool's clerk. And I was in front of my father's house in Moshi. I saw two old men passing through. One had his guitar on his neck.
Okay.
And the other one was singing. I was excited. I followed them. They didn't know I was following them. I was enjoying what they were doing. They were juju musicians.
Oh.
Then they got to a place, Olumorokun Street.
Okay.
Near Post Office.
Yes, Post Office in Moshi.
Then they stopped. And they said, Bulativeri amplifier Dama Fishelolaw. Where are we going to get amplifier to rent?
Okay, for tomorrow.
For our
gig tomorrow.
I just said, Baba, Ekalesa, mo want me to electricity amplifier. They look at it. Look this way, are you an angel? How? I said, I'm a musician. And I saw you in front of my father's house. When you were passing, I saw you singing and I was there. So I was following you, enjoying what you were doing. Can you get an amplifier? I said, I'm a musician, and I took them there. Then they asked me, what kind of instrument can you play? I said, I play all instruments. You play all instruments? I said, yes. Say, follow us. My salary where I was working is £3 monthly.
Okay.
I followed them. So when I finished, they gave me £1 10 shillings.
Okay.
In a day, the
in
half
one
of my
day's-
salary. I opened my mouth and said, Baba, I mean, Alale, mama every night.
You'll be getting some money for feeding.
And it was so. They started going to nightclubs. I started following them to nightclubs.
At that age?
Yes. So that was where I understood the rudiments of juju music.
And that was what influenced you going into that line of music.
When I met those elderly Baba, I asked them that, do you know the person who played Agidigbo in the record of Diwaraba? Ebe mo beyin te ba ti lóyún dákun ma ṣe. Ẹ bá ti lóyún dákun ma ṣe. Nítorí kẹ́ má ṣe gbọ́mọ lọ́mọ sọnù o. Ọmọ lérè ayé a sì dá. Tọ́n bá rí ẹ̀ lóde, wọn ò ní bèrè aṣọ, wọn ò ní bèrè owó. Wọ́n lọ́mọ rẹ̀ ńkọ́, wọ́n tún láya rẹ̀ ńkọ́. Ọmọ lérè ayé a sì dá. The Baba said, a rolling dollar. Oh, why a low rolling dollar low play?
Fatai rolling dollar.
Yes. I said, I want to know the man. They said he used to come past. And one day, rolling dollar was passing. They said, rolling dollar. I'm going to find I greeted him. I proceeded, I greeted him. I said, I wanted to know you, sir. They said you are the one who played that Agidigbo. He says, I said, how so? I said, I play Agidigbo, but
Yours is different.
any record that I had, I would take my Agidigbo and I will scale, play. I said, but when I took my Agidigbo, it was so hard for me
to
play what to play there. Then he asked me, how many fingers do you use to play Agidigbo? I said, 2 fingers. You can play Agidigbo with one finger. You can play with 2 fingers.
Okay.
He said, I play Agidigbo with the 5 fingers.
Oh, my.
I opened my mouth. I said, I would like to know your place. Oh, I would like to be your friend.
To come and learn.
I said, okay. And that day that I met him, there was a guitar box on his neck that he was playing. He just started playing guitar then. Before I got to his house, I composed 5 songs. He looked at me and said,
From him playing that box guitar on his neck?
From the guitar.
Yes.
I was a good composer. Anything I will compose. That was a good gift because Adeolu Akinsoya was my mentor.
Okay.
He was a very good composer.
So,
when I followed him to his house, he too followed me back to almost, because he didn't want to leave.
Leave you.
Let's sing that. We sung that song. The song I composed for him, one of it, I didn't forget. And he loved that song so much. Ọdẹ tó dorí kọ́ tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀dùmarè orí ẹ̀gùngùn ló máa kú sí. Ọdẹ tó dorí kọ́ tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀dùmarè orí ẹ̀gùngùn ló máa kú sí. Ẹ̀bá àta pàǹpà kẹ́tún fa kọ́yọ́ èyí tó lùwà ò ṣe kó fi ẹ̀dá lálárùpín yé ò ká dára kó ní tàsé ẹ̀dá lálárùpín yé ò ká dára kó ní tàsé. With my age,
yes,
and what was coming out
of you,
Fatai looked at me. He became my friend.
And for how long were you with Fatai Rolling Dollars?
6 years.
6 years. And after 6 years, you branched out on your own?
I started my own.
Okay. And so what was the journey like for you?
Oh, today I thank God.
To God be the glory.
I can never forget all those journey. Now I wanted to be recorded. And that time I didn't have money to transfer myself to Lagos, Abuja, where we have Deca West Africa office. I have to trek all the way from Mushin to Abuja.
Oh.
I got to Abuja. There was an Igbo man at the gate. I said, I want to enter. He said, no, I cannot enter. I told him, I'm a future star. My record will sell. I want to record for your company. He said, no, I can't enter because I don't have an appointment. I just was telling him, my record will sell. God just entered his head. He looked at me. He said, okay, go upstairs. He said, well, go upstairs. The secretary, the secretary. I got upstairs. I met the secretary. She was typing. And I greeted her. I was sweating.
Because you had trekked for so long.
No handkerchief.
Oh boy.
It was my buba that I lifted my buba up.
To clean your face.
She looked at me. I looked at, who is this? Then I said, my record will sell. I want to. He said the artist manager is on leave. And I have to come back. I told her, I trek all the way from Mushin, and I'm going to trek back. He said the managing director, but I cannot see the managing director. I said, please, I was begging her, my record will sell. Then the managing director just pressed the intercom.
Okay.
Then he had
the conversation.
Then the managing director asked, what's all this now? No, all the noise about. She said, there's a young man here, sir. He said he's a future star. The lady was saying everything. And the future star said, yes, sir, that's what he said. He said, send him in. When I entered the office, I proceeded.
Yes.
Sir, Ebenezer obeys my name, sir. I come to record for your company, sir. Don't pay me, sir. Don't pay me. Just record me. Pay me after you might have sold my record. My record will sell, sir. My record will sell, sir. My record will sell. Don't pay me, sir. Don't pay me. He was just looking at me. He didn't say anything. He was just looking. Then he pressed intercom. Mr. Ogunbayo, please come upstairs and see this young man. I saw about going and elderly.
You prostrated again.
Then I started speaking Yoruba. Baba, future sir ni mi o. Ebenezer Obelu call me. Ẹ record me. Ẹ má sọ fún mi sá o. Tẹ́ bá ti ta record tó bá ta dáadáa tán. Ní kẹ́ tó sọ fún mi. Ẹ má sọ fún mi. Record mi á ta. Then Mr. Cress asked, what did he say?
What's he saying?
The man said it again. Then Mr. Cress said, we need to give this young man a chance. You trek all the way from Moshi? I said, yes, sir. And I'm going to trek back. I said, you won't trek back. And they gave me 10 shillings. 10 shillings was a very big money in those days. I was given audition at their studio.
Okay.
That's at Akoka, very close to University of Lagos.
Okay.
I own the company. I bought the company. I own that building today.
What did you just say?
Yes. So, I mean, just like that.
The building that housed the company where you had your audition.
Where you have the recording studio.
Your first audition.
Yes. Now belongs to me. I bought the company. Finally.
Wow. You had that audition, and then what happened?
When I came to the studio to the audition, we cannot enter because we are not known.
Okay.
I did my audition under a tree, and they picked 2 songs out of my song. They now call all the distributors to come and listen and book their order. They book the order. This one order 25, this order 30, this one. When they total it, then the staff, all of them knew me.
Okay.
Then they told the manager, sorry, sir, your feature star didn't make it.
Oh, boy.
It was not up to 500.
Oh.
The order must be up to 500.
Okay.
So the managing director asked them, how many left? They said 19. Remaining 19
to make 500.
to make 500. For the first time, The managing director said, I ordered 25.
Oh boy.
So he ordered 25
Oh boy.
for me to sail through.
To scale the 500 figure.
All is because of my effort of trekking
Yes.
my story.
Yes.
And he knew that I said I'm a future star. He later told me that he ordered 25 because...
He believed in you.
Yes.
Now, at that time when you came to Limelight, you were definitely not the only juju musician around.
Oh, no.
Who were the others? Who were your contemporaries at that time?
There were those we call fathers of juju music.
Okay. Who were they?
Tunde King, Ojoge Daniel, particularly Ainde Bakare. Akedairo have reigned with the own style of juju music.
Now, you were one of the first set of Nigerian musicians to actually export Nigerian music. One of the first sets.
Yes, yes.
Now, for you as an individual, what did that experience do for you?
It was a wonderful experience. Number one, it was the student union, Nigerian Student Union
Okay.
of UK that came here to invite me. So, and it was a wonderful experience.
That was in what year?
1969, July.
And being able to take Nigerian music out of the shores of Nigeria, you know, that must have done so much for your ego. When you came back,
Yes.
how were you able to, how did it impact your kind of music that you were playing?
Oh, it was a good experience. Because I have the opportunity of buying instruments.
Aha.
Decca London, through Decca West Africa that I have contact with.
Yes.
They receive me highly, and I make a request. I have the opportunity, I bought new musical instruments. And that first tour give me a kind of promotion.
Among your contemporaries.
Yes.
Still talking about your music career, because you're a man who has done so much for the Nigerian music industry. And one thing was legendary. Your rivalry with King Sunny Ade on the music scene. What was this about? Because growing up, people like us were always wondering, what is it with these two men?
No, actually, I've said it many times. There was nothing like me and KSA fighting. There was nothing like that. And this is the explanation that I've said many times. It's like in football, some people will be fans of
Yes, a team, and some will be fans of the other.
my music, and everything I do differs to what Sunny Ade was doing.
Okay.
Even though we were playing the same,
You were playing juju music.
we were playing juju music, but
yes.
it differs.
What was the difference? Because it's important to educate even someone like me. When you say it's different, I didn't see any difference.
The difference is that the way I compose my songs
Okay.
is the difference. The way he composes songs is the difference. The way he performs,
Yes.
the way I perform
Quite different.
is different. I saw it that both of us, we were a blessing to juju music.
You're a man who, when one listens to your music, the lyrics of your music are usually very deep, thought-provoking and soul-searching. What inspires you
Thank you very much.
to write your songs?
Now, when I compose my songs, I put the wordings together in a special way. With the melody and the arrangement.
Yes.
That's it. It's always good when you can think deep and let the wordings of your song be a song of encouragement, a storytelling line that can show wisdom, that can teach people lessons. Take for instance, Oloyinbotemi was released in the year 1965.
You'll sing that a bit for us. So
Olómi jọ̀wọ́ ò jẹ́ ká jọ máa gbádùn. Aya tó mọ yáyì ló ń ṣe kẹ́ ọkọ rẹ̀. Pẹ́lẹ́gàn bá ń tàn ẹ́ kó má má ṣe gbà ó. Ìdùnnú ńlá ni fọ́kọ káya kó mọ̀ kẹ́ ọkọ. Oríire ló jẹ́ fáya tó bá mọ̀ kẹ́ ọkọ. Sọ́jà afẹ́sùnkún abọ́dé sọ́jà ẹkún adẹ́rìn o ẹ jẹ́ ká ṣàdúrà fáwọn ọmọ wa tó rí sọ́jà àlọ́ adára àbọ̀ àsàn wọn o gbégbé ìgbé sóko ìwà jẹ o tẹ́bítọ̀ rẹ o ẹyẹ má ronú wọn gbégbé ìgbé sóko ìwà jẹ o ọkọ ìdókò kó má má gé tàkùnbọ̀ wálé o bàbá lókè. Gbàdúrà wa o, bàbá lókè, gbàdúrà wa. Fi ìṣọ́ rẹ̀ ṣọ́ wa, bàbá, ká má má bógun lọ o. Bàbá lókè, gbàdúrà wa.
Wow, that's a beautiful one. The program is still Executive Discourse, coming to you on the network service of the NTA. And just like I told you at the beginning of this program, this is a musical journey. I mean, it's a reminiscence for me, and I'm sure for a lot of people, because these were kind of songs that I listened to growing up. And of course, my guest is, well, we call him Chief Commander Ebenezer Obe Fabiyi. Now, as we continue this conversation, having talked about the depth of your music, there was something that happened in your career, and that's talking about your trips out of the country. I think there was a time you took a trip out of the country and you lost your musical instruments.
Yes.
To fire. What exactly happened there?
Well, I ordered the instrument from Italy, and I've used the instrument. We have completed our journey. Just 3 days for us to come back home.
Yes.
That was when one of my boys, Gabriel Didiji, went to the store, and there was no bulb there. So he lighted a candle took what he wanted to take there. But he forgot to
turn off the candle.
Put it off.
Oh my.
And that was what happened.
Oh my.
But they turned it so that I loaded Indian hemp into those instruments. And when the policemen were coming, there's something like that. I've played there for 2 months. And now they said, so I don't know how they sell hemp. I don't know how I've never been a part of anything. Everything that God gave me came from God.
And don't forget, you also made a promise to your mother.
Yes. I promised my mother, and I kept it.
Your music back then, when you started, I mean, having started at the age of 15, yes, such a young age.
Yes.
Now, was it to make a living for you at that time, or it was just a fulfillment of passion, or a combination of both?
When I started, I didn't know that it would be money making something. I just took it as a hobby. Something that is in me that I love doing. That's it. But from the time I followed that papa, I saw that there was money there.
There was money to be made from it.
And it became a blessing to me.
Still talking about the kind of music you play, which is juju music, your lyrics and all. I know that you've done several. You've composed thousands of songs over the years.
Yes.
But as a parent, you know, for every parent, I'm sure that every parent has a favorite child or the other. Which of your songs really holds dear to your heart, that somehow every time you look at yourself, that song comes to mind? Which one of it?
Well, Olumigbotemi being the one that brought me into limelight. Because when Olumigbotemi came out, they have to stop pressing, and they cannot press any other record other than Olumigbotemi. They were pressing it here, they were pressing it in London, and it was wonderful. Not that alone. If you talk about Kete Kete,
Yes, that was
if
what
you talk
I was
about
going to
board
ask you
members.
about. In fact, you're just taking me on the trip I want to go
Yeah,
now.
yeah, board
because
members.
Board members,
Yeah.
I've always wondered, for board members, who were the board members?
They are board members, a social club in Lagos. Great men
Okay.
were in that club. So I just composed that song, mentioning the name.
Yes.
Yes.
Take us through it a bit. I mean, let's have a reminiscence of board members before we go to other
Board
songs.
members, Ọmọ Akérèlé board members, Tawani. Sanyaolu chairman, Àjọ Tú Ẹgbẹ́. Yinka Rose, Barrister lawyer. Board members, Ọmọ Akérèlé board members, Tawani. Bọ́gun bọ́ọ̀lù àgòrò. Àgòrò bàbá mo gbádùn ẹ. Aṣọ tó gbámúṣé làgòrò fi ń jayé. Bàtà àsìkò àgòrò ń wọ ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ o. Managing director ọlọ́lá ìgbádùn fún ẹ. Òdìlé àgòrò òdìlé àgòrò. Orúkọ wo lọ́dún tó yí Sànyà Olú. Ọmọ ya oyè o.
Oh, yeah. Yes, I know that. And that brings me to another one. Cash Madam.
Yes.
Who was she? I mean, because you see, I had to actually take my time
Yes,
to go and read about her, the popular Cash Madam.
Cash Madam was called Cash Woman.
Okay.
She was a trader, and God bless her. She had good name. She was doing clean business. So they were calling him Cash Woman.
Okay.
But when I want to record my record, I call him Cash Madam.
Madam. That's Bisi Lola.
Bisi Diosori.
You're
Bisi
really taking me down memory lane. I still want to take you back to board members, Cash Madam, and a few others that you sang, which were major blockbusters, in the music industry. What was it was it just because of who they were, or it was more like a contractual thing for the praise singing of them?
Well, it is always good when we see someone who did something differently, positively. It's good to sing about it.
Okay.
That's what I base my own singing. Cash Madam didn't tell me to wax a record for her. But I saw her, a trader of that magnitude, who was able to do clean business and having distributorship from DB Oliver and he was a woman who was accountable. Some will have that opportunity and mess up with their money.
Yes.
She didn't. She was a honest woman.
So it was basically to encourage her.
Yes, and she's a role model. She's still living today.
She's still alive?
Yes, still alive.
Wow.
Still
I
alive.
think that's one woman I'd love to meet, really.
Yes, still
Yes.
alive. Yes.
She's a woman I'd love to
Yes.
meet. Looking at the kind of music that you play, that you played back then and you still play today, and then your contemporaries, the likes of King Sunny Ade, Fatai Rolling Dollar, Adeolu Akinsa, even the late Fela Anikulapo Kuti, you all played musical instruments. A musician is not a musician unless he's able to play a musical instrument or the other. That seemed to be the mantra for you. But looking at what we have today, our musicians, you look at the array of musicians, music talents that we have in Nigeria, and maybe very few can lay claim to the fact that they can play one music instrument or the other. What is it that has brought us to this level in music, Nigerian music?
Well, let me say this. It's good for a musician to know about music. If you can play an instrument, it is better for you.
Okay.
Because there's no way for you to play an instrument without knowing something about music. Yes, those who have good voice may not be able to compose themselves,
Okay.
but they may be good vocalists. Their own gift is in the power of vocal. They can buy songs,
Okay.
they can do remix. Many artists have done remix of my songs.
Yes, yes.
So if they are good, if they are talented, they have good voice, yes.
So are you saying that, the future of music is still bright in spite of musicians today not being able to play music instruments?
Yes, but at the same time, we have many who are able to play musical instruments. Many.
Yes, but not like it was in your own time.
We have many young ones that, for instance, my own grandchildren, Nino, very good keyboardist. Those who specialize or who can play musical instruments have a better advantage.
Okay. Still talking about music. I mean, we just can't stop talking about music where you're concerned as a man. The kind of music that you played back then and the music that obtains today. Yes, juju music is still very relevant, but we've had other genres of music, come up. How do you rate music back then and music today?
Well, music back then was good, very, very good. Life itself is changing. I will compare the good olden days to be a world of analog.
Analog.
But the present day world is digital. And so that invention had actually brought many, many innovations and had made things so easy. Many of the songs that they sing, I encourage them. But many of what they sing, I don't know. Things it is even much better now. In the early days when they started, when they say "Uriye focus," and people embrace that.
Yes.
So in the olden days, if you sing a song and say "Uriye focus,"
Exactly. Nobody would want to listen
yes,
to
but
that.
now they're doing very well. We have to thank them because they are reaching their own generation.
Their own generation. One or two of your children are in music, right?
Yes.
How many of them
Almost all of them.
are into music?
Yes.
That's
And
okay.
my children, maybe my grandchildren,
Yes.
they're the one who surprised me.
They've taken after their grandfather.
And they are doing very well.
Chief Commander Ebenezer Obey, at some point you went into gospel music. What happened then and where are we at now in your career?
Thank you. After a successful musical career that spanned over many years, precisely when I clock 50 years,
Okay.
that's 30 years ago, I was called into the ministry. The call into the ministry is to propagate the gospel of our Lord Jesus Christ. But I believe from my background, my mother loved God. And with everything she passed through in life, God still answered her. This is my own personal belief. If you serve God, God always has special love for those who are serving him.
Yes.
So after that successful musical career, God now called me. When I was 50 years old, I was ordained
Okay.
as an evangelist.
Evangelist.
I later on have a church in order to fulfill the work of God.
Okay.
One of my children is the bishop of our headquarters. I thank God that after I obey God, 17 years after, God sent a message to me that I should not leave music.
Okay.
Through a man of God, though late now, Dr. Miles Monroe. We were in a service in London. And on the concert day, when I was singing, he took the microphone. I said, Pastor Obe, I will tell you the truth. Don't leave this. Don't leave this. He said he did not understand most of the Yoruba songs, but seeing the reaction of people, how he said, this is a special ministry. Continue doing it. I heard that, and I have to pray about it. Because all along,
Yes.
people have been worrying me, they have been troubling me, but I said no.
Yes, I must tell you that, your fans were really worried.
Yes, yes. So now, through that, I now have what I call an outreach where people can pay for my services and I can do special appearance for them.
Okay.
I call it special appearance outreach.
What kind of events do you perform at?
Special appearances, as for churches, I do that. But for special appearances,
Social gatherings.
I charge them.
Okay.
I put part of the money into the ministry. And I put part of the money to pay the band boys that follow me. I have a part of it for myself too.
Yes. You have spoken so glowingly and passionately about your mother. Now I have to ask you this question because, she grudgingly gave her blessings for you to go into music.
Yes.
And thanks to God, you have made a success of yourself and your career in music. Did your mom live long enough to see the success that you recorded in music?
Yes.
And what was her opinion?
Oh, she was so happy. My mother went to be with the Lord in the year 1995. So she saw the success and she was very, very happy. She said, all I wanted is success for you. But I thought if you are a lawyer or a doctor, that will be the best way for you to achieve success.
We thank God for that. At least that she saw, the goodness of God through music in your life before, and she lived to enjoy it.
Thank God.
As somebody who has devoted more than 3/4 of your life to music, practically all your life, having started from such a tender age at 15, I want you to, as your final words, speak to the consciousness of Nigerians about us as a people and also to our music industry. What can we do with it? How can we grow it better? And how can we be better human beings and better Nigerians?
Thank you. Talking to Nigerians generally, I greet you all, great people of Nigeria. And I just want to say that when we live in peace, we can achieve greater things. No matter what we pass through, we must always think about peaceful approach in resolving whatever. Because to me, I believe that whatever happens in choosing our leaders, if God did not want any leader to be there, that leader will not be there. So let's just follow the path of peace and allow peace to reign, God will solve all our problems and Nigeria will be great again. Talking to musicians, I greet all of you, my colleagues who are there. Let's thank God that God has brought us to where we are. It is not by our own making. It is because God helped us to be where we are. So let's continue to contribute our quota to the development of Nigeria positively. And to the younger ones, maybe you are just coming to music. All you need to do is to be dedicated to what you want to do. It may not be easy at the beginning, but as you continue pressing forward, you will see the light of the day, and success will come to your path.
Thank you so much, sir. It's really been a pleasure sharing this time with you. But before I let you go, because I know that, yes, it's your usual style, you will have a song for Nigeria. And apart from the song for Nigeria, you will also sing us out of this program, when we're done. I have been speaking and sharing this lovely time with a man who has dedicated his entire life to music, the development of music from the grassroots and up to the international level in Nigeria. I'm talking about Professor Chief Dr. Ebenezer Fabiyi. He's shared quite some experiences with us and his journeys through music. And I don't think I need to say more about the messages that he's given to us as Nigerians, because we can only remain one indivisible entity if we learn to live in peace with one another. If indeed you've had a good time with us on Executive Discourse for this week, why don't you join us again, same time next week? I am Ololade Adeniji, of course, as Professor Ebenezer Obi sings us out of this show today. Let's have it from you, sir.
Nigeria, ìlú olókìkí, ìlú ọlọ́lá, ìlú aláfẹ́, ẹ jẹ́ ká sowọ́pọ̀ k'Olúwa má yà wá. Ọ̀nà méjìlá la pínra wá sí. Now 36.
37.
Ẹ̀mí ìṣọ̀kan òun la bá dúró. Ẹ jẹ́ ká sowọ́pọ̀ k'Olúwa má jà wá. Á dára, á yẹ wá o, Nàìjíríà á tòrò k'Olúwa má yà wá. Á dára, á yẹ wá o, Nàìjíríà á tòrò k'Olúwa má yà wá.
Thank you very much, sir.
Nàìjíríà yìí ṣì máa dùn, ó dá mi lójú. Lọ́lá Olúwa á dùn, á dùn, á dùn.